So every day we try to take up a topic, some topic that will help us to get started. And the idea is just this. The idea is to create a subject that will move us on in this journey of enlightenment. I was looking at the skies today and I saw the clouds. And the clouds, they're so amazing. How did they come about? Who created the skies? Who created the clouds? How did this universe come about? Why are we here? Why did we come here? What is the purpose of our life on earth? Why this human birth? Why are we different from the dogs and the cats and the lizards of the world? We see it with our eyes, but we are so lost. We human beings are so lost. We don't want to find out the answers to the questions. We just live and we die. We don't find out the question, who am I? This is a critical question in life. We must find out the answer. Who am I? Why am I here? It is so important. This is a key for us to live. So let us start with questions. Sudeep Bhargava, question please.
Shivam sir. So my question
So,
seems to be just what you just said. So,
yeah.
and if I pick up I think the third and the fourth realization, the points that you talked about yesterday, they were all about realization and ignorance. So my question is, what could be the top 2 or 3 things that we are ignorant about? Because unless until I know what I'm ignorant about, I cannot decide how to remove it and why is it there. So I need to know what am I ignorant about. So
Sudeep, we are ignorant. We are ignorant about so many things. Sudeep. We are ignorant about who we are. We are ignorant about why we are here. We are ignorant about who God is, where God is, what God is. We are ignorant about the purpose of our life. We are ignorant about what is the soul. Many people are still confused about the soul. Although we read in the scripture clearly the soul is birthless and deathless, we still, our mind makes us believe that the soul is reborn again. Soul cannot take birth. Soul is God. It's like saying, that's why sometimes I laugh when they sing the song, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. I laugh. I have a hearty laugh because God is birthless. God is deathless. So, Sudeep, there are too many things that are involved in this fact that we are ignorant. And the biggest ignorance is that, you know what, Sudeep?
ignorance about ignorance.
We are ignorant about it. So we think we know everything. We think we know everything, and that's very dangerous. If you think you know everything, then what do you want to know, Sudeep?
That I can tell you with folded hands. I don't know anything. So
no,
now you tell me.
When I used to go to my guru used to, I had a very good guru. He used to take me to task. My guru would smash me nicely. But one day he told me, you're a jet. That means you're an idiot. So I replied back to him, I with folded hands. I told Dadaji, I'm a super idiot. I agree, I'm a super idiot. But now you tell me how to get in the enlightenment. And therefore he knew that I was, see, we want enlightenment. We want to know the truth. And for this, what is the key quality, Sudeep? What is the key quality?
That I should be inquiring. Need to be on a quest.
Even if it's inquiry, but the key quality is something else.
To first accept that, yes, I don't know something, and then only the inquiry will start.
That is called humility.
Okay, humility.
The key quality is humility. My guru used to tell me, I am nothing. You tell yourself 1,000 times, I am nothing. I am nothing. I am nothing. I know nothing. I am nothing. That is the way to come to learn something. If you know everything, then what is there? Then there's nothing to learn. Nah? Up to I was 46 years. I was 46 years like an idiot. I was just roaming around Antarctica and Iceland and Greenland and Switzerland and Finland like a madman. I had no purpose. I'm telling you, I'm admitting I had no purpose in life. So then finally my guru made me go on a talash. He got me a purpose and that purpose changed my life. So that is the answer to your question. There are many things, right? There are many, many things that we are ignorant about. Next, please.
No.
Okay, so today I forgot to send you all a reminder of the Zoom. Just now. Okay. So I believe we have sent the reminder now. So anybody who wants to ask a question, many of you wait for the free time. So now there's free time. Questions. Who are you? Why are you here? Are you happy? Are you truly happy? Are you living in a state of ananda? Have you conquered your mind? Do you know the difference between the mind and the intellect? Why is the mind the biggest enemy? How can you destroy the mind? Can you kill the mind? How can you kill the mind? Where is the mind? You know how many questions are there? Hundreds. Hundreds of questions. And I'm not talking about how to make a pizza and how to make a burger and how to make fried rice and noodles and idli and dosa. I'm not talking of those questions. I'm talking about spiritual questions. So therefore, we must ask and ask and ask and ask and ask till such time that we realize the truth. Because if we don't ask, then we will be taken to task. And the master will say, what did you do? I sent you to the beautiful world. Did you find out why you were there? Who are you? Did you realize me? And if we don't know the answers, we come back and we suffer again. Okay, question from Harsh. Harsh, question from Harsh.
Shivoham, sir.
Shivoham, Harsh.
My question is, what connects soul with body?
Can you tell me what connects electricity to the bulb?
Wires.
Wire connects electricity to the bulb? Does it connect? Does the wire connect the electricity to the bulb, or the electricity flows through the wire to the bulb?
Electricity flows through the wires of the bulb.
It doesn't connect. So the point is, the energy of the divine flows into us. The energy is everywhere. The energy is not, the
I was
energy.
wondering the same example of wires as well.
I was just that these are not called examples, these are called analogies. You must use an analogy to try to understand. So the electricity flows through the wire, but in the electricity, we know the source. We are able to get the source of the electricity. But the soul is much more deep, in the sense that the soul is everywhere. The power of the soul is everywhere. You don't need to search for the power of the soul. The soul's power is everywhere. It's in the skies. It's in the sun that glows, the water that flows, the wind that blows, in you, in me, in the birds, in the fish, in everywhere, in the flower, in the fruit. The soul power is everywhere, but we don't realize it. Thank you, Harsh. Huh? You didn't get?
No, I'm not satisfied with the answer.
You're not satisfied. What is your question again?
I think nothing connects soul with body. That is why we do meditation.
My dear Harsh, you're attending the class every day, right? This Ask Care, the session. Do you know that there is no body? You know that, or you don't know that? You know the body is a manifestation of the soul. It is a soul flowing to the body. If you don't accept it, it's very difficult for me to. You know, every cell of the human body, even as per science, is nothing but energy. Do you realize that? The soul doesn't connect to the body. The soul appears as the body. It flows through the body. Anyway, I hope I'll be able to explain better to you in times to come. Next, Krishna Sharma. Yes, sir. I'm Krishna Sharma. You are supposed to ask first question today. Yes, sir. Today you have a lot of time to ask me a question.
When the enlightenment happens, what will happen to the mind and ego, sir?
It is like saying, yesterday night Krishna Sharma had a dream. Yesterday night Krishna Sharma had a dream that he was the president of United States. Yesterday night.
Okay.
So he was very happy when he woke up in the morning. So today night also he told all his friends, I am going to sleep today and I am going to go back to the dream to become the president of the United States. Is it possible?
No, not possible.
Why it's not possible?
Maybe we can't say dream what will happen.
No, because the dream is only a dream.
Dream. I agree, sir.
Mind and ego also is like that. It is subtle. It is not a physical aspect.
But they will exist or they will not exist at all?
No, they are subtle.
Now
They-
also settle only. Only thing is they are expressing because of ego-ness. Because
No.
of ignorance.
No.
Because of ignorance, they are expressing themselves in a different way.
How they expressing? Tell me. Repeat your
Like this
question once
only.
again. Repeat your question once again. To
What
understand.
will happen once a person is getting enlightenment? What
So
will
you tell
happen to his mind and ego?
You tell me now. See, the question is, when does the mind and ego appear, dear Krishna Sharma? When does the mind and ego appear? Only when it is manifested in a body. You agree?
Yes, sir.
If there is
Yes,
no
sir.
body, can you bring me one? Can you give me 1 glass of mind and ego? You cannot give me. Can
We
you give me
cannot.
2 kilos of mind and ego? You cannot give me.
Yes, sir.
You can give me
Yes,
2
sir.
bottles of blood, and you can give me 4
Yes.
bags of bones, and you can give me 4
Yes, sir.
teeth, but you cannot give me
They,
mind.
they are having physical existence. They are having physical existence.
So, having said that, Krishna Sharma, the
Yes,
mind
sir.
and the ego, what now
Yes,
I'm
sir.
coming straight to you. See, sometimes we cannot go straight to spiritual questions. We have to
I
go
agree,
round
sir.
and round to
Agree.
come to the answer. In
Yeah, yeah.
spirituality,
Yes, sir.
the question
Huh.
is, what happens to the mind and ego when a person
Yes,
gets
sir.
enlightenment? When the person
Yes,
gets
sir.
enlightenment, the mind and ego ceases to exist. Because the enlightened person realizes, I am the divine soul. Enlightenment is understanding that the mind and ego is in Maya. It is only Maya. It is illusion. And to understand in the worldly way, Krishna Sharma, what
Yes, sir.
happens to the cube of ice when it becomes water?
It will merge with that water.
No. So what happens? You give me the cube of ice, which has become
No,
water.
it won't exist as ice. It won't exist
Ah.
as ice.
So are you getting the point? As long as it's a cube of ice, it is ice. The minute a cube of ice
Here my
becomes,
second doubts.
Huh?
Sir, here my corollary doubt. One more
Yeah,
doubt.
please ask 100 doubts. And today there is nobody asking
No,
questions. Full
my
stop.
this thing is, one person who is enlightened only can give the enlightenment to the other people. Because by reading the books, we cannot get it. From a guru
Nobody-
only we
even
have
the
to
one-
get it.
Even the one who's enlightened cannot give. It is
No,
not
at
product.
least you can show the way. This is the way you have to reach it.
No, I'm only correcting your
Is it not,
statement.
sir?
Said only your statement
I
said
agree.
enlightened person can
I
give
agree. I
enlightenment.
agree. Because I am not enlightened, no, sir.
No.
You are enlightened. You are showing
My
the
dear,
way to us.
my dear Krishna Sharma, with folded hands, we are discussing to get the point clear.
No, sir.
We are not-
Don't put
with
that.
hun- with
No,
humble
no.
fold, we are
Sir.
only
Doubt
we are
is this
only-
one, sir.
continue.
Guru has to impart the knowledge to Shishya. A enlightened Guru will impart what is meant by enlightenment, how to approach it, he will tell to the
Correct.
Shishyas. For telling the Shishyas, he should have the mind and he should have the little bit ego that he has to teach all the secrets to the disciples. These two things will exist in an enlightened body or not.
The moment the so-called guru, the moment
Yes,
the
sir.
so-called guru has mind and ego, he becomes incapable of imparting any knowledge to the shishya. Unless the so-called guru gives up the mind and ego, unless he transcends the mind and ego, unless he overpowers the mind and ego, he cannot impart any knowledge. The knowledge is imparted, Krishna Sharma, not through mind and ego. It is imparted through divine consciousness.
One more doubt, sir, here.
Continue.
Knowledge it can be imparted or can be told by using some language only, either a verbal language or a physical language. In some way,
Correct.
he has to impart the knowledge to the Shishya.
Correct.
Unless the language will be spoken by him, if he is not using his mind and mind at least, ego, we will take it separately. Without using the mind, without knowing the language or without speaking in the language, he cannot impart any language to Shishya or anything to Shishya.
You are using the mind in a different way. For sake of argument, I can tell you something else. He is
Okay.
not using the mind. He is using the memory. Then what
Okay.
you have to say?
No, I agree. That only I want to know.
No, Krishna Sharma, these
Yes.
are only words.
And that is true.
Try to understand one thing.
That is true, sir.
Okay, today you Hindi aata hai? Hindi malum hai?
Small, little bit I can understand.
So in that today I wrote a song. I recorded a song today. I think I told you
Tell
before,
me,
but
sir.
today
Tell me,
today
sir,
I
I am fond of your songs.
it says, Man re तू काहे को शोर करे. Oh mind, why you are making so much noise? ख्यालों में मुझको तू क्यों डुबाता, शांति क्यों चुराए. Why are you making me sink in these thoughts? Why are you stealing my peace of mind? So we have to learn. In the song I say, मन और विवेक में फर्क बहुत है. Lot of difference between mind and intellect. इसका एहसास करना है. We have to differentiate between mind and intellect. मन को काबू में जो लाता, the one who brings the mind under control, वो ही शांति पाता है. He is the one who attains the peace of mind. सच्चिदानंद ये है. This is Satchitanand. We reach the state of divine consciousness, where the mind is transcended. Mind, Sister Sarma, mind is a rascal.
Yes,
Have you got my book, Mind is a Rascal? I have a book. The book's name is called Mind is a Rascal.
I will send message,
Kill your
sir. I want e-copy.
I'll send you. Kill your mind before your mind kills you.
Yes, sir.
That is the name of the book.
Yes.
Okay. Any
I
more
will read
questions?
it. Thank you, sir.
You are satisfied?
Again, when the doubt comes tomorrow, I will ask one more question.
No, today only you can ask. Don't wait.
And now I am not having any doubt. I want to ponder on it, whatever you have told me.
Thank you. Thank you. Without your question, I will have no job.
That
Unless
is-
you have question only, I will be able to answer. No,
I
there's no
agree. Again, Siddip is going to ask some questions, sir.
Sudeep
It is
is
okay for me. If he is asking, I will get the information.
Navjot.
Sir, what is the difference between Jiva and Jivatma?
Very good. This is a good question from a humble seeker. What is the difference between a Jiva and a Jiva Atma? When the Jiva gets the Atma, it becomes a Jiva Atma. When the Jiva Atma loses the Atma, it becomes a Jiva. The Jiva is the mind, body, ego. The complex of the body, mind, and ego. The body, mind, and ego cannot come alive without Atma. The moment the body and the mind, the Jiva, has the Atma, it becomes the Jiva Atma. Clear? Navjot?
So I have another question on karma.
Yes, please.
Sir, suppose somebody meets an accident.
Little loud and clear, please. Little bit loud and clear.
Suppose somebody meets an accident
Yeah,
and he is hit by a truck.
yeah.
So we can say that it's his bad karma which made him suffer.
Yeah.
But it is also the bad karma that the truck driver has done by hitting him. So whose karma it is?
So, the fact that you or me were hit by a truck, it is not possible for us to be hit by a truck unless there is a karma which is equal to this accident. Is it clear to you about this point? Nothing in this world can happen. This is, at least if we learn this one thing from 1 month of this class, no, this one thing we learned is enough. Nothing in this world can happen unless there is a corresponding karma. If there is no corresponding karma, it cannot happen. Just like the apple cannot come in the tree if there is no seed. Then nothing in this world can happen without karma or deed. Nothing in this world can happen. Point number 1. Point number 2. The man who hit you, if he hit you, then it is his karma. He will get hit in some other way in future. That is how the karma works. What is happening in our life is the result of past karma. Whatever present karma we do gets planted and the result will come in the future. That is how karma works.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bridget.
Yes, Bridget, my dear Bridget.
Shivoham, sir.
Shivoham, Bridget.
Write my question to you. You can read me, please.
Yes, I will read. Thank you very much for writing, because sometimes, otherwise, see what happens, everybody must be able to listen, right? Sometimes,
Yes.
sometimes That's why I tell Navjot, speak loudly. I can listen, but everybody else cannot listen. So I tell Navjot,
Yes. And my English is not so good.
no,
For,
your English is very good, but it's very stylish. So
yes.
because it's very stylish, so we have to ask you to. Okay, so my dear Bridget says, when I am in the forest wearing black as a good idea to promote connection instead of reflecting with white. My dear Bridget, is this the right question for me? When I am in the forest wearing black is a good idea to promote connection instead of reflected with white. What do you mean, Bridget? You have got
Because the color is very important. I think color is very important. Black, it's not a, it's a color for, I don't know how to say in English, sorry.
So,
But
my
you
dear,
wear always white for a reason.
so you're asking me for that reason, huh? So I wear white because white is the color which splits into the 7 colors of the rainbow.
Yeah.
When the white light of the sun hits the droplet of water, you get whipped gear: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. 7 colors. Now, this is honestly not so relevant. In spirituality, the color that you wear hardly matters because
No?
the color doesn't belong to us. We are the divine soul, and the soul is colorless. I only wear white because of peace, because I don't want to. Otherwise, every day morning, I have to select a blue shirt and a green pant and a yellow t-shirt. It's a headache. So I just say, give one shirt, give one pant, one shoe, one socks. It doesn't matter what. It's just white. So why did you talk about the forest? You like to go to the forest?
Yes, I go to the forest almost every day.
But then the forest, maybe black is better because the animals cannot sight you, or maybe that's the reason it's better to wear black.
Yes, and for attract sun, attract warm, attract more energy.
You please wear black. It's no problem. You don't wear
Okay.
white. Okay.
I don't want I don't want bad with black.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you so much.
Next, Rajendra Makwana.
Shivoham.
Shivoham.
Here I want to ask one question which actually, came from your discussion, your conversation with Krishna Sharma.
Yeah.
You know, when so-called guru is having mind and ego,
yeah,
he cannot impart knowledge.
Yeah.
But one question arises in my mind that a disciple makes the guru and not the guru who makes the disciple. I mean, a disciple to the guru.
I missed you. A little louder, please. And
a
the guru?
Disciple
yeah.
relates to guru as
yeah.
guru, and he doesn't see his mind and ego. He
Correct.
just relates to his guru as guru. That's all.
Correct.
He doesn't see his negative points.
Correct.
And a real guru emerges from the so-called guru.
Correct.
This is what I believe.
Yeah. So what is the question?
So there is nothing like a guru carrying mind and ego.
Yeah, but he asked, Krishna Sharma asked it from since you mentioned Krishna Sharma, he asked from a different point of view. See, remember one thing. The guru realizes, a true guru realizes that we are nothing. My guru, Dada J.P. Vaswani, again and again said, we are nothing, we are nothing, we are nothing. The true guru must realize that. Because if the true guru thinks the guru has an ego, it's a big problem. Now, next point. Even a disciple who looks at the guru, many people would come to my guru and tell my guru, we brought jalebi for you, we bought chocolate for you, we bought sandesh for you. No, the guru is not interested in all these things. The guru has only one interest. The guru has only one interest, to impart knowledge to his followers. And therefore, he is not interested in getting chocolates, and he's not interested in any of these things. Of course, out of love, many people would bring many gifts for the Guru, but the Guru is not interested. The Guru only wants the sincerity of the seeker to be able to help him to reach the goal of enlightenment and nirvana.
Sudeep, second question.
Thank you. Sudeep Bhargava.
I have one more question.
Yes, Rajendra. Yes, sorry.
Shivoham.
Sure.
Actually, here I want to discuss one of the personal, my personal questions.
So,
Personal
personal
issue.
you must call me on the mobile after fixing a time, and then personal, you have my number 55555.
Yeah, I have.
Kindly message on that. We will fix a time and I will call, and it is not so easy like this, but definitely I will talk to you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Sudeep Bhargava.
So my question is arising because of the question that Krishna Sharma ji asked you. So
Yeah.
wanted a clarification whether my understanding is right or wrong about this MIME.
Yeah.
What I understand, at least about the mind and the intellect, is that both these are the products of brain. It's like legs walk, same way brain produces mind and intellect, which is a product of brain.
We believe it.
Mind can be considered as a negative product. Okay. So mind can be considered as a negative product of the brain, which will create troubles for me. Intellect is the positive power of the brain, which will do some good things for me. Like you have become guru, because when you are teaching me, you don't use your mind, you use your intellect and maybe the memory also, because you remember something only then you tell me. So I understand that intellect and memory is good. Mind and ego are bad, but all four of them belong to the brain only. So if I'm wrong anywhere, please tell me. That's my question.
No, it's not a matter of wrong or right, Sudeep. There has been up to 2021, the 19th of June 2021, I don't think there has been anybody who has been able to prove the connection between brain and mind. There is no science, there is no way science is able to control the mind through the brain. Although we believe that the brain is a product where the brain is where the neurons and the nerves, they end here, and then you've got the medulla oblongata, and then you've got the backbone, and all those things, our science is still baffled. So while what you say is correct in a way that the mind and the ego are on the negative side, the intellect and the memory may be on the positive side, all these four are, that's why in spirituality, they are known as the inner instrument. They are known as the instrument of the Antahakarna. Now, Sudeep, this instrument is very subtle. This instrument is so subtle that it is very difficult to scientifically prove it. How can science tell you which part of so then the science should know where the memory is in the brain? Can you put a USB drive in the brain and copy your memory?
No.
Why you cannot do it? So you get where I'm coming from, right? So these aspects are very subtle, and while what you say is correct, I am forced not to make a statement because I know that if your consciousness controls the mind, then you can use the mind in the right direction. Then the mind doesn't become a dagger to kill somebody, but it becomes a knife to perform a brain surgery. So therefore, we have to transcend the mind. The mind cannot be killed. The mind, although I say kill your mind, the mind cannot be killed. The mind has to be transcended. The mind has to be controlled. The mind has to be taken, put under the power of the intellect and the consciousness. So I think that I know where you're coming from. So you're right in what you're saying, but we can't formulate it into a statement.
Fine.
Okay. Kumar Swami, last question for today. Kumar Swami. Two more questions. Okay. Kumar Swami.
In meditation, when we sit in the meditation, after some time we will be going for a thoughtless condition.
Correct.
So thoughtless condition, beyond that, what happens? Definitely, the total everything will be blank.
Yeah.
So everything will be blank. Immediately, I am not aware of what is happening in that.
Yeah.
So sometime after 2-3 minutes, some shock, some jerk is coming in the body, like a shock. Inside some light is coming, just
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
So at that time, where ego is going, where ego is merging, where I am seeing, I was observing that thoughtless condition, observing, I am thoughtful condition, observing. After that, I am unable to observe what happening after that. What will be the situation?
Because
Where
you are
is going?
you are using your mind to do dhyana yoga. You are reaching the end of dhyana yoga and there is no jnana yoga. If there is enlightenment and you do the same meditation and there is a realization and enlightenment, then you will reach a state of Satchit Anand. There will be no jerk. Then there will be Ananda. There will be Nirvana. You are not experiencing that Nirvana because you have to go through Jnana Yoga. You are doing Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga means meditation. But you must also do Jnana Yoga. Realizing, I am not this body. I am not the mind. You are using the mind to do meditation. You must drop the mind. And you must turn that meditation to consciousness. Then you will feel Ananda.
So I have to observe the things. I have to use intellect or mind. Is it not?
No, you have to
What is
drop the
happening?
mind. No, you don't have to use mind. Already using mind enough. Now you have to drop the mind. You have to drop the mind and you have to become conscious. Chitta. Chitta means consciousness. Become the witness. Become the observer. Watch the mind. Don't see colors. These colors all is illusion. Don't try to see colors. All this is wrong. Wrong teaching. Please don't try to see colors. Blue color, purple color. People taught me also green color, center of the eye here. Stop all this. This is not the right way to do it. Reach the state of consciousness, emptiness, mindfulness. Reach that state where you observe that you are the Atma. Don't think. Stop thinking. Reach that state of emptiness. Try. You try what I'm saying and experience and come back with further details.
Okay. Sir.
Yes, thank you, Kumarswamy. Yes.
Gauresh and Anthony.
Gauresh.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam.
Yeah. So my question is like, how many years does it require to a person to get enlightened?
How many years?
Yeah, sir.
Sometimes it takes 100 lives.
Wow.
Sometimes it may take 100 lives. Sometimes it may take 40 years. Sometimes it can happen in 4 days. It all depends. It depends on when the spark comes alive in you. So there's no time. The answer is there is no fixed time. You can do it. For my journey of realization of truth took at least 2 years of full time and many years of learning.
Okay.
Thank you. Anjanil, Bisham. Last question, Bisham.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam, Bisham.
Sir, I want to know, there is any time limit for suffering from karma?
There is as much time limit, as much of karma that is we are carrying. How much karma is in our bag? Suppose we are carrying a bag. That bag has got 3 kilos of, I'm just saying, it's got 3 kilos of karma. That karma has to come out. And as long as there are only 2 analogies. If that karma is, suppose your karma will make an accident, it will make you have burns, it will give you a problem. So as much karma you are settling, that much karma is used. Suppose, Bisham, you don't settle 1 more kilo karma in your back, then you carry that for the next life. Therefore, you should be happy. The way to deal with karma is when something bad happens, you must say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because karma is getting over. Whatever suffering happens, you should not take the suffering as your suffering. Suffering is suffering of the body, mind, and ego. Do not accept that as your suffering. You tell, I am not suffering. And the best way, such an amazing question Bisham has asked, the best way to be free of suffering is to realize I am not the sufferer. I am the Atma. I am not the body, mind, ego. All your karma, all your suffering will drop like a potato in the bucket of water. Finished. So that is the ultimate goal, and enlightenment will free you from all suffering and all karma. Thank you, Bisham. And thank you, all of you, for coming and giving me your wonderful blessings every day at 8. I am so grateful to all of you. With folded hands, I thank you.